Not even taking much contact at all. Heavy God, first man in over contact against Synopsy. Backs to turn, the headshot does come through. Draws out first blood, encouraging start for him, but GXX so quick to return fire. 4-on-4 situation, and Endpoint quickly up and into the mid control. Out to Candles, Mighty Max will keep his eyes on the backstabs, but they're going to wrap their way all the way in towards the A site, in fact. 3 players are standing for the B&E defensive. Smoke set is Senna, now holds his own. Taps forward against Surreal, it's Rigon onto Nerds. Great kills at a 4 versus 3, trying to make it 2 as Milky drops and Max and Surreal, the last 2 players are left, making it 1 now.
And Max just being able to be out-called in that sort of round, unfortunately. You see the idea that you get a 1-for-1 trade. Heavy God expects the aggression to come through from the B doors. But what Max does not know, and unfortunately just being blinded completely, GXX with a perfect flash assist.
Kill found 5-on-4. Rigon down next to the 4 versus 4. Mighty Max all important frag back, and now things are swinging on GXX's position, but the AWP so quick to peek in and get the flick back. 3-on-3 situation as Heavy God does try and back in, keeping the even man standing for Endpoint, but look at that backstab for Synopsy. Map control across the board here for B&E. That lurk out towards the B site is going to be useless as Surreal is caught up on the boost. Milky's going to get caught dead to right. Surreal 22 HP. Synopsy using the USB because he knows that he doesn't need to reload. And the quick rotations from Heavy God just going to get here way too late at this stage. 1-on-3 back in from CT spawn, so nothing going to happen for that. Map control. Another bomb plant in at the very least here. Suppressed by the smokes. The CTs can't look into the bomb site. Instead, it'll be turned around by Surreal's Deagle headshot. Rigon will also drop to Nerds' Tech 9. A 5-on-3 now found by Endpoint. Flatro also caught off for Surreal. Turns it back in towards him. A trade from Nerds still found. GXX trying again to try to keep this round plausible here for the CT side. And Flatro edge of the smoke, 2 players to catch. Mighty Max and Milky. Who's going to see who first? Both players spotted. The spray does not line up, though, and New York is already escaping.
Oh, what an eco round out for Donard. Plenty of flashes to come over the top. And then what ends up happening?
Swinging with a knife in hand. Does get across, but takes a ton of damage. And Mighty Max is forced to get the kill instead, but he's successful in that regard.
And they'll know that Nerds is low. Synopsy going to fall out to the open. They've got to know that Nerds is still there, but no. Perhaps thinking that he escaped. And now GXX gets caught by Mighty Max in mid too. Holding on to the 2 rifles they've got. Now with the loss bonus being low, they'll just go around it. At least they drop Mighty Max with the bomb, so.
Point found the equalization, so it's not quite done just yet. It's still very early doors. Rigon, however, looks to try to put confidence back on the board. Gets Heavy God to start things off. Milky's good for the trade. Sana, slow walks. Surreal caught dead to right's advantage now for the CT side, but only for a moment. Nerds again catches Senna on a quick trade back. Utility in hand, couldn't do anything to defend himself. And now Milky hold down the mid control against the 1 CT that's rotating out there. It's Synopsy in the back lines, caught off by Mighty Max. The AWP catches Flatro, and GXX 1-on-3 situation. Might get this 1 trade, not quite.
Rotated, and this has got to be something that you'd imagine Synopsy's going to be thinking about. Okay, Endpoint are maybe going to try and be a little bit fakey in the mid rounds, try and see if they can over-rotate us, because that round was a prime example.
Starts to get hurt. Milky such low HP. Deagle taps him. All-important casualty. Mighty Max tries to respond on the B site, but does fall to GXX. And now Synopsy in with the orb. Can't land on Surreal, who get that trade. I don't think he's got time to get the bomb down, though.
No time in this here for Endpoint. You've got the CTs coming over quickly just to try and put some pressure onto the side. Get it trying down in the corner. Nerds is going to overextend, but no time for the bomb. The kill already comes in. Surreal might drop after time. Oh, no! Why have they peeked that?
4 waiting. Nerds. Disadvantage on that duel, but still wins it. Down to 6 HP. Still 4-on-3, making it 3-on-3. The over-aggression from the CT side might get punished here.
If anyone's actually watching for it.
Surreal caught dead. Bomb drop deeper in towards the B doors. That's double. A triple from him. A quadra in the round itself.
Boy, putting on a pretty good show on T side as of right now.
Oh, nuts. All right. Great shot. Synopsy there to trade it right back. And the second player out of elbow will be dealt with by Flatro. Milky, AWP firing away. Gap in our smoke to play with. Peter Heavy God. Not needing that contact yet. Mighty Max takes Rigon back into the back lanes. Now got to turn his attention to the site. Looking in from the long side entrance. Smoke down against him. Big gap to play with, seeing Senna and Synopsy. Mighty Max plays for time, but Flatro checks it. Heavy God tries to hold on to the 2K. This spray's fantastic as they feed him. One by one they peak, and one by one they fall.
Done that so many times, right towards Candles, and now for Senna. He's alone on B, trying to take the duel out to ramp, and Flatrou's probably just caught off here. Yeah, you get Nerds on the lurk out in mid, but I think you just got to save. There's not really much room in this round to work with at all.
We've got those two rotators, hoping they can get a good pick in and an aggressive T-side player. And Mighty Max the most forward of them, edge of the smoke stuff to the right-hand side. Incendiary's thrown, GXX caught, transfer to Rigon does damage. Not quite the kill, Flatro a little bit late to the party here. No smokes to go down on the bomb. Flashes and HEs available towards Flatro, fair enough. The taps of the AKs, however, as they swing. Nade doing damage, Heavy God peaks and gets a double once again.
Across the board going into round 12, and they were weighing it up themselves. Was it worth it? Maybe because they got that kill onto Nerds, that gives them the back of the mind thinking, we're only down by one, let's...
Smoke sent, missed shot, jump face from GXX, gonna leave Synopsy to come forward, look for Nerds, get that kill. GXX Orb strikes and Surreal crossfire out of the round. 5-on-2 situation. Synopsy will turn away and Mighty Max will be able to get that trade at least. But still a two-man advantage for BNE. Ramp. M4 forward, Mighty Max caught, Heavy God down the same. 5 to the board of the BNE, king into the back of Temple. Move right up towards the donut entrance, engage against Synopsy. Fantastic 5-on-3 being gained, making it 2 as Milky also gets Senna down. And Endpoint just look lights out once again here.
No, it's just escaping right through the CT crossfire and now putting pressure down into the last individual. GXX up towards short, going to lose the fight to Heavy God. And you could just see how disciplined Endpoint were after taking that tactical.
For Master Senna. Bring the receivers, Endpoint, charge their way up, and Synopsy gets his kill. Nerds down, quick plays in for the T-side, up into the lane control. Spray back as Milky and Surreal do chime to return into a 4 versus 3. B-side open up, Flatro trying to make his way back in with the M4. Engagement's not being found, they're back behind the pillar. The bomb will get planted.
Even the AWP is looking into the cave position. Might get a little bit too aggressive towards that left-hand side.
Doesn't check the corner. Oh, the gun barrel baits him. Almost gets the kill back, and Milky turns it in the end. Rigon in a 1 versus 3. Gets that first. No kit available to him. Plenty of rifles dropped at his feet. He'll make his way into the bomb site. Smoke and nade can come up on towards the bomb's position. The nade also towards Heavy God. 10-second stick. He'll just tap it once. Try force Surreal out here. Get that pick back. 1-on-1. AK in hand. Where's Heavy God? 8 seconds. Diffuse coming through. In full for Rigon. Smoke about to clear. Heavy God sees his foot. Just peeking out the left-hand side, and indeed will close it with a 10-5 half for Endpoint. Now towards the B-side stack, which they've got in Heavy hole for the Endpoint side. Utility being thrown, and B executions in. Heavy God locks out 2, trying to look for the triple against GXX, and he lands it in hole.
Just putting up such a solid defensive up there towards B. Synopsy getting peeked in from all sides. Milky's going to drop him, and now Flatrou's the last one left. Endpoint trying to carry that momentum from the first half right back into the second. A rollover over to that B site. This Glock not going to be able to get away with anything. 11 now up for 2.
Proving himself in this particular matchup, currently top fragger of the Endpoint board. Might get challenged for that. As of right now, he is having a wonderful matchup, and certainly to prove his point at a different level of Counter-Strike. Those teams are all respectable, but nothing to the level that Endpoint and Bad News Eagles are playing at right now. And Endpoint are usurping and surpassing BNE quite heavily here. 2 players left in this round. The Deagle force by, of course, falling apart to the rifle basis. Surreal's got the triple. USP pulled out towards Senna, makes it a quadra, maybe even land the ace at this stage. The reload in real quick. Rigon, footsteps heard against him from our swings. The Eagle fires, and Spray comes out for the kill, for the ace, for Surreal.
Endpoint. GXX might get a boost in for a teammate, try and get the AWP up. At least Synopsy started with an opening entry to window.
Oh, and a follow-up as well, and Cheetah, Heavy God down, 5-on-3. Oh, the scout from Milky, fantastic headshots, and Mighty Max puts Synopsy right back in his place. 3-on-3 regained after such a stellar start as well. Passive crossfire, so we're a lot more active than... Well, Mighty Max is out. Mighty Max now going to have to get a bit more active himself. Rotations will get called. He'll get smoked off. The bomb should commit and get planted here.
Max has got to be thinking about walking through that smoke. GXX might be able to catch the jewel. Ooh, does get baited from Milky.
As Mighty Max going down as GXX does land his good kill. Milty got a tag in that exchange, though. So
this first half, and now moving into the second. We'd like to see him get some more up into the counter.
Okay, ready for the headshot, comes back in against it. Nertz catches the AWPer off guard. Backstab also inbound. Senna going to be challenged here by Nertz. His shot does not connect. Milky also dropped on the site. Heavy guard, however, with support. Look at Surreal's backstab. That could come in against him. Heavy with the P250. And Deagle spam away comes up against Senna. That's 2 rifles recovered again by the CT forces. And Heavy sees where Regon's coming in from. Quickscope doesn't connect it, but Surreal outside of the B doors here has the bomb directly in his sights. The CTs have him to rely on. The jump from Flatro gets the information. A goosh down against his name, but the headshot comes out. One-on-one situation. He's ready against the man. The smoke comes back here, and the spray through. Flatro engages, doing damage, not the kill. Footsteps are heard. The bomb can commit and get planted.
And Flatro's got to make a decision. Does he fake it, try and draw the fight? No, he's going to get it down safe.
Deagle in the hands of Surreal. 2 bullets in the mag. Going to get that reload in. AK v AK action. Flatcher with the advantage of the HP and the Kevlar, though, swinging out, sees the shadow, engages, but Surreal wins the fight again. Another clutch for him to take Endpoint to 14.
Somehow he's able to pull a bit of magic off.
BNE weren't ready for this Endpoint. I don't think we were ready for this Endpoint either, to be honest. Upgrade pistols, Eco Steel for the European team. I get forced away by the Incendiary. Still for some time for the CT side to rotate the position and eventually give Mighty Max a fight.
They still got a late lurk from Rigon, so this could get very uncomfortable. Heavy God's got to be keeping an eye out for it, and Flatterer is pressed all the way to CT spawn. Rigon drops. This looks promising for Endpoint now.
Mighty Max comes up good again with a double. Swings on the triple, in fact. Synopsy goes down, and Flatterer now back in his CT. Milky has no idea what's about to face him. He's all the way in that corner, trying to defend against the bomb plant position. Does go down to the AWP in the end. And Endpoint will have map points. Loses life. Center is tagged back by Heavy God. Smoke's Cheetah will try and block up positions as Milky does respond. The 4-on-4 situation. Mighty Max makes Flatro reduce to 3. Does get caught by Center back to a 3-on-3. And Heavy God reveals his angle once again. Meanwhile, GXX has walked out into the B site. Rigon's all the way deep into the site itself. Surreal gets caught off guard and Endpoint lose the man advantage, but Heavy God chimes right back in.
Got quite a lot of nades behind them. Coming back in from that cheetah position. Milky's going to go out to long with the AWP.
Swing in, shot connects, sword on Rigon, Heavy God puts him to bed, puts this map away. A 16-6 for Endpoint. A stellar T side that bled into a fantastic CT half the same. Smoke sent down, hard stack into the B side, pistol round for the CT forces. Bad News Eagles will gain the A control.
It's just going to be a heavy retake setup. Nertz being able to at least deal with Synopsy with the lurk out to connector, and GXX tries to get aggressive, take that jungle control as it's allowed.
Back onto the back of the danger box. CT players making their moves in center court. Trags for a 2-for-1 trade. Overall leaving Flatro on the 1 versus 4. An impossible clutch, surely. He makes his way around the corner and he's desperate for a headshot. Doesn't get any of it though. Mighty Max with the smoke on the defuse. Engaging against 1, but taking damage to that SMG. Nade sent out as Milky sees what's going on out towards Palace. The headshots continue to come in for the SMG. 2 sprays back. Milky does get his pick in the round. Trades are good for Synopsy and Rigon, but Nertz comes right back and Rigon left out in the open, dead towards Mighty Max's double. A lot of money gained out of that round. A nice bonus for the 3-0 start. The side of things is kicking off with a bang. Flashes in, smokes down. Heavy God struggles a little bit towards short, does get traded, but Senna and GXX able to hold on to the man advantage for it. Synopsy with the bomb out of the apartment's dead to right. So Mighty Max should be an easy kill on Senna at 10 points of HP, but he lands the frag to a 3-on-2. Bomb plant can be secured. GXX will adjust. Time halfway ticked away, and the Deagle lands his headshot. So Bad News Eagles in with the steal as Nertz is forced to rotate and save the M4.
Not the best outcome there at all for Endpoint, and even losing that rifle. It does have that underwhelming feeling of, oh, we have just let this go. Senna and GXX putting that pressure on, and for Max, you just felt that that wide swing over to the left-hand side of Get Right needed to land that fight immediately, and because that does...
Senna walking out into the open on the A-bomb site. Bomb still out towards that ramp control as GXX lands an all-important AWP pick. Senna catches a kill on Nertz. But Surreal on the back of the A site. Overall sprayed down by Flatro. Does burn him from beyond the grave. It's Mighty Max in a 1-on-3 situation.
Might be able to drop that bomb, get it out into the open, but it's what happens after the fact. We know that Endpoint were very strong in their clutches on map 1.
And the murder hole, and the AWP is suspected he might be out here in a CT. The Senna peeks up, gets that headshot immediately.
He spawned, you're putting pressure onto the backstab. Milk's not even looking up to spawn, and this round's finished already.
Yeah, 5-on-3. Surreal in a dark. Detected. Flatro gets the headshot. If there was any chance in the round, it was going to rest with Surreal right there and then.
Spawn, keep that pressure on, pull a little bit of distraction away from ramp. Heavy God gets dropped out to bench, and it feels night and day of what we saw B&E like on this first map. Coming back into the second, they look sharp, they look confident, they're playing off each other really well.
Look back in towards Market, I don't think he will.
This is just too many times in which Synopsy's been able to find so much success aggressing further forward. Max is out in the open, the Trigger Discipline is here to try and get a couple of kills. Should just get away with one. This is the round finished already.
A tap to the head. Rigon gets Heavy God. Milky fell in the interim. Confidence on the board for Bad News Eagles. A 7th round to the T-board. A 7th round in a row for them. There's one exit to take. At this point, he's just playing for survival. They're going hunting, and they'll get him for it.
A lot of the time, if it's just not a map that you play, it's not a map that gets introduced into the pool, you're going to have big holes. You're going to have weaknesses. And I think B&E have been exploiting them. They've had these really aggressive, long lurks that have been able to striking performance here on Mirage. And a very quick send out from Ram now.
Now wasting very little time for Bad News Eagles. Flatro first to fall, so Surreal holds the line for the time being, but Heavy God flanked in by Senna on the center of the site. In 4-on-4 situation, Endpoint trying to insert the retake. The AWP of Milky needs to get something, but he gets nothing instead. Senna turns it in. Advantage extended by 2 by Rigon. Mighty Max and Surreal got to save.
Players to jungle, connector, or even CT rather than the backstab, because...
And Senna. AK set in. Watching and waiting. Flatro taking Milky. Surreal sprayed at the Achilles heel, jumping to get out of the way. Senna looking for that kill shot, unable to do so though. Rapid in the corner knows that he must be close and catches him as the smoke blooms. Flatro gets nerds, and this just looks lights out from Bad News Eagles. Situation held out to the apartments, and Flatro knows it. By hunting directly against the big green. There's at least a decent flick from him. The shame he didn't quite get the damage on that double AWP setup here. Because it's an expensive setup for the Endpoint, so I can leave them with nothing to work with for round 15. He might not even survive. Yorp sees his foot peeking out the left-hand side of that smoke, the gap in. Mighty Max does catch the kill on GXX. So he will look to maintain his life. Okay. 11-4 deficit at the turn of the half. Senna does try and back in against Milky. He's catching him off guard with an unscoped AWP. Surreal out towards the back of the danger box. Not going to be required to retake a face. It's Heavy God instead. In from jungle, gets his pick. Synopsy returns. 3-on-2 still for Endpoint, though. He's up on site. Rigon hiding behind the triple stack. Another HE sent into a default plant position. Footsteps forward. Engagement loses. Synopsy, what magic have you got, sir? Not much. Nerds with a swing, with a kill. Here, of course, the pistols of the... USPs and Glocks, quick in from Endpoint, trying to get towards the A site. Smoke's bloomed very late on connector. So Milky just giving up to Flatro. Nerds takes it right back to a 4-4. One will commit and get planted, at least they should do, but they continue facing aggressive into the CT lines, and GXX gets Surreal to return. Advantage maintained. Senna down to 19 points of health. Nerds returns to a 3-on-3 situation. Needs to get a double up alongside Mighty Max to support. Nerds will get dropped. So 2 versus 2. Senna is low. GXX sees Max, tries to shoot him in the back, but misses every single bullet. Senna's dropped now. The fuse kit in a CT spawn needs to get picked up by GXX soon. He's running out of time, making his way in. That's a hell of a headshot. Where's that kit, though? He can't find it. Looking towards the dead body, grabs it in the end. Smoke on the bomb, can go down. Heavy going in at ramp, however. Got to be a 4-5 second ninja. The tap of the clock, going the wrong way, doing so much damage, but eventually GXX will fall. Gonna set him up on the boost as well. Be the platform that Nerds will fall to. Flatro kicking things off. Hell of a start from Synopsy. Is the Eagle also facing in against the scout player here for Milky, who lands 2 shots and connects the kill, but trades are so good to the damage that was done by Synopsy there. Another assistance from him. Double up. Mighty Max also seen all. Flatro's making this real bad for Endpoint. That's a quadra in mid.
Relocate from connector, and he still presses aggressively. Heavy God's gonna fall. What an incredible steal that is.
That play alone. How sick was that? To adjust against his teammates' damage, to do the kills on towards top and bottom mid. Dash forward, smokes incendiaries, Molotov set down. Senna gets the kill onto Milky. Will take some damage to the pistol. The GXX takes Mighty Max next. Heavy Gun and Nerds do get a couple on a responsive to a 3-on-3. Backstab also in from connector, but Nerds struggles with his spray and loses his life for it. So advantage maintained by B&E. The bomb, however, will get planted.
Surreal gets a little bit of extra cash injection, but you got to be focusing on the round victory. Heavy God has been good in the clutches, and he's got Flat down to 2 points of health, but the further peak comes in. Information gained.
M4 aggressing on Synopsy. Surreal. Dry face in. Milky's orb also dealt with. That's a triple and a quadra lined up by the man once again. One player makes all the difference for Bad News Eagles. Endpoint capitulating action. Synopsy turns on for the ace. Straight swinging for Heavy God. Desperate to try play entry. Desperate to get anything out, but dead to rise with the utility basis alone. The incendiaries plus the HE. Now Senna swings in on Milky to a 5-on-3.
Flatroo keeping his eyes locked down towards underpass, and even the timing, the incendiary Surreal's going to go further forward. The bomb does not get dropped, but Rigon's there for the trade.
2 left on Endpoint's side. Mighty Max just turned 180 in by Rigon's part, and Nertz alone. Rigon may even find the triple. Get his own little piece of the pie, his own multi-frag round. Not quite. Now Nertz has an AK and the bomb at his feet, but GXX slowly pushing in for the orb, not quite landing it. Reface against Senna, however, ends off the map. 16-5, decimation from Bad News Eagles to return to Endpoint's own decimation. We're off the map 3.
Flatroo might not be able to do much on the site, though.
Flash in. Mighty Max doesn't check him, actually. Fatra does find his kill back, swinging out left and right, seeing all sorts of information. So now Nertz and Surreal come up with those trades, and the wraparound against Fatra could prove to be risky as he does go down in the end, but Rigon cuts Nertz's backstab. It's a 1-on-1 for him to retake with Nade towards the backside, looking up against Surreal, who lands his triple and lands the pistol for Endpoint. Meanwhile, Rigon gonna boost one up to the flower pots as Flatro does see Surreal. Surreal gets that kill, but Bad News Eagles have gone for the hard stack in.
You wonder if there's a counter rotation now with the pick coming through from that balcony position. They could actually start bringing that bomb back to A.
It's a good shot for Rigon. Milky still making noise. Flashes forward past the smoke. He gets Mighty Max as well. Milky crossing. GXX uncontests it. And Milky gets that trade in center. Still with a 5-7 on the site. Rigon, another good kill alongside his teammate, grabbing the rifle and grabbing the bomb.
Go as number 1 and probably Rigon as number 2. Both of those players incredibly exciting.
Metro in Cubby, sees Max, drops that bomb, 4-on-3. Flashes forward, swing back to try and make it 2 here. Milky spam, does get Nertz instead in position to get his trades alongside the double up. GXX overwhelmed with one decent trade back to his own right, keeping it at 2 versus 2. Heavy God caught. All-important pick back for Senna, responded to by Nertz quickly. 3K to his name. Now on for the quadra in the 1-on-1 clutch. Nertz thinks that he might be somewhere out in the open. Graveyard, where he's holding from for now. Will Rigon get the info? He's checking sight. Incendiary thrown down. Nertz bides his time. Waits for that bomb to get tapped on Rigon to expose himself. And that's the quadra. What a hold.
Go status here for B&E for them to force it down to try and get those deagles up in. Rigon finding that trade towards the half full, but it's the long take really here where Flatroo could have hid it in the corner, allowed GXX to take that contact, and it gets out of order. Nertz winning the 1v2.
Has tagged him low. Now we'll know what's going on. The T's are going to adjust against it. The AK watching, GXX caught by Surreal, and Flatro dealt with, so not much gained out of that backstab except for the damage being done. Now Synopsy swinging forward against Milky, still winning these long-range fights somehow against the Galil. 1 or 2 players back out towards the B site. Bomb plant's going to be...
T-sides have always been an issue in the majority of those matches. 24.1 round win percentage on the T side. Counter nades going down to the bottom of Banana, but it's Synopsy taking the majority of the damage. Rigon down from mid, though. It's a sandwich coming through, and there's even a TK from his teammate.
Oh, Endpoint caught completely sleepy on that one. Rigon is finally traded, but GXX continues to press the issue. It is a 3-on-3 situation. Mighty Max catches GXX to return, so a 3-on-2 eventually found by the Endpoint side. Maybe that TK has to be center here. 30 seconds swing, spray, HE plays well towards Mighty Max, probably gets that kill. The spray doing damage towards one man, tagging Surreal to 16 points of health. Himself, move in, swing on Heavy God, dead to right, that's a 1-on-1. Needs that kit soon. Doesn't see Surreal up in the apartments. He does now. Knows that he's out there. Will he continue peeking? No, he doesn't. He has no idea. Now he does. Must know for certainty. But Surreal's wasted so much time. Flatro can't get around now. Flash is in. Surreal will not peek. Flatro's got to run away. That's a 5th round for Endpoint.
I think if there was miscoms, I think they thought there was more than just one player alive.
In Flatro spots and sprays, but only for a split second. Oh, the spray back from center, blind past the smoke. There's a lot more, and Flatro set up against Mighty Max. Drops that bomb. Synopsy comes up against Milky in the backlines, and a backstab will lock it in against Endpoint. All 5 alive for Bad News Eagles. That is far better. Smokes up, Incendiary sent, flashes over, Surreal sent away. Synopsy and Flatro hold down the line regardless. Surreal does find that one trade, but Senna has the bomb in his sights. Milky's all. I think he sees the gun barrel. Indeed he does. Gets that headshot with GXX locking out Surreal. Bad News Eagles find 2 on the trot. I think Max is still not looking to swing. He knows that there might be some sort of crossfire here for Bad News Eagles. And Milky's going to break the first part of it. JXX down and out. Aggressor in from him. Rigon past the sandbags. Nertz swinging forward, and Rigon will fall. 5 on 3. Flatro sprays down 1. Solo holding the B site. Nice nade in. Will do damage to Milky and Heavy God. Still got Mighty Max at 14 HP, but he's nowhere near that blast. Second man rotates in as Endpoint rotates. We saw over on Mirage. Molotov sent back towards Pit. He's on the site though. Flash blinded. Surreal gets him. 2 left. AK spray blinded. Heavy God will get Synopsy. The bomb will go down, and Flatro is left to save.
Completely alone, and just that flash up onto the backside corner. It starts fading, but it's already too late. Doesn't get that immediate.
Looking out here, the main T-side forces in from short.
He's being proper annoying here because the CTs have to focus about it. The bomb gets dropped, and GXX is still alive from Pit with the orb.
Still tag damage being done at the apartments. GXX holding alongside Senna here. Senna's still low HP and gets some damage, but no kill on Nertz. GXX with it all to do. Trying to stall time for backup. The bomb should get planted center of the site here. Nertz not going to expose himself to that pit control as Rigon gets cut off by Heavy God. And now the Orpa Milky can win that fight up close. Get his kills. Leave it all on Synopsy.
Going in for the clutch. AWP towards Pit from Milky. Stepping up in these last couple of rounds. Couple from him.
Moment, the utility comes in for the execution. 2 players on their way in for the rotation defensive. Bad News Eagles, however, catching the players completely blind. Nertz and Mighty Max decimated. Bomb dropped in the open, and they're suppressed. They've got to press forward. This lurk from Surreal leaves it only on 2 individuals. Heavy God and Milky, the stand-ins to make their move forward and ultimately get ripped apart. Orp now in a 1 versus 5. Can't hold it. Bad News Eagles with 5.
But yet, Surreal with the lurk.
GXX with the connection. Now on the execution towards the B side, this time without a boost, but Rigon still posted up here towards the gap. I thought somehow he got both those kills, but Synopsy was there with support on the other side, on the site itself, a 5 on 2. Endpoint once again ripped apart on the execution basis, and there's nothing that Heavy and Nertz can do. Nertz set towards second mid. Don't think they're going to extend that far here. Maybe Heavy God's footsteps, and nade landing right on top of him. Senna now in the apartment. Surreal, AK, found. Heavy God also goes down. Now the Orb's the only rifle left. Milky's Deagle facing in. 2 left standing. Could line up. Max gets caught. Nertz finally with 1 decent trade, but now needs a full-blown ace here against the 5-7 of GXX. It's not going to happen, as Bad News Eagles will close on 7 rounds of the CT base.
Been seen.
Taps on against Rigon, crossfire for Milky's part. Kill credited on his own individual start. First blood drawn in the half. And now looking for a bit more. Synopsy leans in. Mighty Max from the other side out towards long. Does find GXX. Milky with a double. Can't quite make it a triple. Surreal forced to fall away as Heavy God also takes some damage in a pit, but a 4 on 2 has been established here by Endpoint. They do manage to crossfire. Get Heavy God down. Flatro gets a double. And now it's back to evens. Mighty Max all alone. Faced in a pond trying to fight. But Flatro gets a triple. A quadra in this round. Oh no, I don't like this at all. No.
Got a feeling that Nertz would have got aggressive, and Flatro, does he get the ace? He spots him out. That's all they need. That's all the tell.
Sticks around the corner, but Nertz puts him down 1-on-1. He still thinks it might be the A side though. Top of the board though, 14 picks. Needs to make it 15 here in this map up. Oh, okay. Adjust towards Senna. I thought for a second he may have just adjusted to get that frag, but the jump face ultimately threw his accuracy off.
Ends are hungry.
Rigon first man in. Surreal has been seen. Swing forward, sees 2, gets damage on both. Kill on Mighty Max. Nice nade attempt. Synopsy will lose his life. So that's 1 Mat 10 drop. Rigon, however, holds his nerve. Deagle pulled out for a hell of a sequence. And Flatro will close out the last on the AK. So India thrown out towards the apartments actually misses as it hits the rim of the balcony. Rigon can swing. Mighty Max will go down for it. 4 on 3 scenario. Heavy God still watching out for them. The sprays through. Rigon will drop the bomb, but GXX's Orb can respond.
And it's the little mistakes. That molly goes down. I think Max stays alive.
And the first gun round goes their way. Endpoint tried to stand and fight an aggressive line and did a decent job of keeping the trades together. They'll make it expensive again for BNE. Well, Synopsy do manage to combine with GXX to get Nerds. That's one player alive for Endpoint. BNE can continue buying here.
Oh, wait, why is Nerds peeking that? It's just... It doesn't need to happen. They're down 8 to 11. 5.
They're going to commit in spite of that damage as well. Utility back, suppressed vision. Surreal looking around for Senna. Nade up. Needs to swing for the headshot. Can't make it happen. 4-on-4. Backup is so far away for Nerds as well. Hiding in amongst that smoke. Waiting for his teammates to come together. But Senna adjusts. And Rigon gets Milky on the rotation back. And just like that, Bad News Eagles turn the round around. That's unlucky 13 now for Bad News Eagles. More unlucky for Endpoint than it is for BNE. Players without helmets. Quickly in for him as well ahead of the Molotov. Smokes down, flashes in. Both players are blind. Nerds can get an opening start. Double up as well towards Rigon. Drop that bomb. Surreal providing support. Those HE sent up and over. But no damage done. The blind spray still comes up good. A 5-on-2 and at last Endpoint have broken a streak.
Senna just couldn't do a thing. Just so blinded by those flashes. And you feel as if that MAC-10 onto someone like Nerds without head Kevlar, if he's not blinded, that might be a very easy opening pick. And things are so different into the round. That counter utility from Endpoint was such a good assistance.
Nerds dead. Synopsy trying to bring it back. A manic spray transfer walking into Surreal. But Surreal puts both the last two players down. And Endpoint now have their way into this matchup. Their first round of the CT side.
That streak has turned into something very special, though. Think about the eye.
Yeah, flashed in here at Banana. Indeed, above the wood stack. Didn't see Synopsy, didn't register that flashbang from Rigon providing support as the advantage goes the way of BNE.
And now Surreal's in a very aggressive position. Up onto the top of the sandbags, gets that first, but now getting out of safety is going to be really difficult.
They sent back Molotov in, Rigon with the kill. Mighty Max has two players to get, and he'll get them both. Back to the favor of Endpoint with the bomb control and all. And Heavy God making his move in against the backstab. One player's pushed up towards short on the A side, but Senna is the big concern.
Heavy God's in such a good position. Senna's expecting some level of backstab. There's still so much time left for Endpoint.
They check on the pass. Drop in. No. Heavy God caught looking the wrong way. Senna, an all-important pick back, but now both CTs are stacked up to the bomb crossfire.
They've got nades. Flatroo can flash over the half wall.
So do the CTs. Incendiary sent. Flash forward. AWP blinded. Mighty Max jumps up sandbags, gets his triple. Flatroo all alone. 1 versus 2 clutch for him, trying to isolate that orb, but Milky has it on lock finally. Milky's orb could be suppressed indeed. They turn all the attention towards the short control. Milky down. Heavy God and Mighty Max, last 2 players standing, and they're picked apart so easily. Heavy God trying to hold some sort of fight, but his teammates so late to the rotations. He gets a double somehow. A 3-on-3. Needs that backup to get up here. GXX spamming away with the AWP. Can't quite land. The bomb has gone down. The retake should be on as long as Heavy God stays alive.
Just hide in the corner, wait for the CTs to get here, but look at the press. Oh, the timing might not work for Synopsy, though.
Marking in, Surreal makes his way up, Heavy God's down. 1 orb found, Synopsy making noise, checking out Brackets. They don't make the move. Surreal finally gets his pick. Nerds in from Brackets' entrance. 1 player quad, 1 player long, but time so short. Even with the kit, GXX will get caught. Smoke needs to go down, but it's not a default. Synopsy seen. Engagement gets found. Is he going to get this? It's 5 seconds. He hasn't got time. He's running for the hills. He's going to save the AWP. Endpoint have to concede map and match points.
Not even.
AWP stands alone. Rotations will be late. Footsteps will be heard. Turning away from that flashbang, caught up on the half wall. Senna making his move in, so close towards it. Does land GXX, and Senna can overwhelm. Got Surreal up close and personal there with that FAMAS in the smoke. And Flatroo in a tree will now extend quite far out. Will the CTs be ready for it? Nerds won't check it, certainly. Damage will be done, and Flatroo gets his pick.
And now it's about the double, looking towards that right-hand side. There's even a backstab. Synopsy's going to have to get into the action.
Quickly in as well towards Speedway. Senna caught off to the backside. Going to need Synopsy quite heavily here. Utility thrown over. He does strike. 2-on-2. Senna to hold. A lineup potential. Tagged up to 9 HP. Oh, he taps up. Oh, he gets 2 headshots. Perfect. 60-10. What a way to close for Bad News Eagles, who go up over Endpoint.
Oh, the big man, Senna, what a clip to come through right at the end. Synopsis coming through from CT Sport.